Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic, the technological strides in defense and artificial intelligence emerging from Israel in 2025. It's a story of rapid innovation, shifting threats, and the fusion of civilian tech dexterity with military necessity. We'll explore how Israeli companies and the military are deploying new systems, how AI and autonomous systems are being integrated, and what these developments might mean for the future of warfare and defense globally. Let's begin by looking at the backdrop. In recent years, Israel has taken a defense tech approach shaped by its operational environment. Innovations aren't just developed in labs, they're tested, refined and deployed under real combat pressure. As one industry map from 2025 shows, there are over 300 active defense tech companies in Israel across aircraft and avionics, unmanned systems, secure communications, simulations and more. This kind of ecosystem produces technologies not just for tomorrow but for now. That operational urgency is central to understanding what we're seeing in 2025. One of the major arenas of advancement is artificial intelligence and data fusion. Israel is integrating AI into defense and homeland security systems in significant ways, from algorithms analyzing aerial and satellite imagery, to platforms predicting equipment failures, to command and control suites that pull real-time data from sensors, drones and human intelligence. It's not just about bigger sensors, it's about smarter systems. One defense industry blog explained how Israeli firms are embedding AI and machine learning into platforms that previously were largely mechanical or sensor-based. For example, autonomous drones and unmanned ground or maritime vehicles are increasingly able to coordinate, detect threats, avoid obstacles and even suggest courses of action rather than simply executing pre-programmed instructions. Integrating AI into communications, networking, and sensor fusion means decision loops become faster, and human operators are supported by machine insight. The context for these innovations is crucial. Israel faces multi-domain threats: drones, missiles, asymmetric actors, border incursions, and evolving technologies of adversaries. In fact, during Israel's 12-day air conflict with Iran earlier this year, it reported intercepting 86% of Iranian ballistic missile launches. That showed both how threats are evolving and how defense responses must keep up. Which brings us to one of the most headline-grabbing technologies, laser air defense systems. The company Rafael Advanced Defense Systems (RAF) and its partners have been developing the system known as Iron Beam, also referred to as Shield of Light, a high-power directed energy weapon designed to intercept rockets, mortars, drones and other aerial threats at relatively short range, with what are touted as dramatically lower costs per interception compared with conventional missile interceptors. Breaking Defense reports that by late 2025, the laser system is expected to enter operational use, and the next stage is combining it with AI so the system can intelligently decide how to defeat an incoming threat, for example choosing whether to strike a wing to induce a crash rather than simply destroy. Think about that. A system that doesn't just autonomously intercept, but optimizes the interception method. If a missile is coming in, the laser might aim to disable a control surface such that the missile flips or crashes in a controlled zone, rather than blasting it outright. That kind of controlled takedown is quite a leap. The implications are huge: lower cost, potentially less collateral damage, greater scalability. This isn't theoretical, Israel is already moving this into the field. Another major area, unmanned systems and autonomy. Israeli defense firms are rolling out and/or refining unmanned aerial vehicles (UAVs), unmanned ground vehicles (UGVs), maritime unmanned systems, and networked swarms. One blog noted Israeli startups were adapting civilian autonomy technologies from automotive, robotics, sensor analytics for defense use, converting e.g., urban video analytics into border monitoring or drone surveillance applications. The operational feedback loop is fast. Many companies are iterating based on frontline military needs. The dual-use effect technology developed for civilian markets being adapted to defense is strong in Israel. We also see overall integration drives, secure communication networks, data fusion across sensors and domains, battlefield intelligence systems, real-time decision support platforms. In August 2025, commentary highlighted how Israel is scaling from being a regional tech provider to a global security power, with increasing export relevance for its defense industry. A related dimension: training, simulations and command control. Advanced platforms allow for better training of troops, simulation of scenarios, AI-augmented decision loops and, what-if, modeling of threats. These systems are less visible to the public but form the backbone of converting new tech into usable capability. According to the 2025 landscape map, simulation and training, unmanned systems, space tech, secure communications were all identified as key verticals. Also worth noting, internal investment and government policy. Israel is placing state-backed guarantees into venture funds to boost defense tech innovation. For instance, the Israeli government announced NIS $200 million in state guarantees to support VC funds focused on advanced defense technologies. This signals that the state is not just consuming technologies but actively nurturing the ecosystem. Let's think about some specific examples and what they illustrate. The wearable device developed by an Israeli reservist and startup, Skyhoop, uses smartphone technologies to warn troops of aerial threats: drones. This is an example of rapid innovation driven by frontline needs, civilian tech backbone, and acquisition of new defense capabilities outside traditional procurement cycles. The Iron Beam laser system, a strategic shift from kinetic interceptors, which often cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per shot, to directed energy weapons that may cost only a few dollars per shot. That cost scaling and new mode of interception is very important. The use of AI and sensor fusion, algorithms for analyzing aerial or satellite imagery, predictive maintenance, command-human interfaces bridging machine autonomy and oversight. Putting this all together, Israel's 2025 defense tech landscape is characterized by speed, integration, dual-use innovation, and cost efficiency. The threat environment demands it, the ecosystem delivers it. Now let's consider some of the implications and caveats. On the plus side, these innovations mean Israel, and by extension its partners and clients, are better equipped to address emerging threats: drone swarms, low-cost missile attacks, autonomous systems, multi-domain conflict. The ability to iterate quickly and field test in real conditions gives a competitive edge. On the other hand, there are challenges and ethical dimensions. The deployment of AI in defense raises questions of control, oversight, bias, unintended consequences. When systems can suggest or direct engagements, where does human decision-making sit? Some Israeli publications note that mechanisms for meaningful human control are being built. Also, export considerations, geopolitical repercussions, arms race, accelerations, these are real. Israel's increased role as a global security tech exporter means it must navigate diplomatic tightropes. Another dimension: cost and sustainability. While systems like lasers reduce per-shot cost, the infrastructure, power supply, maintenance, integration cost are non-trivial. Additionally, adversaries adapt. The next generation of threats may push these systems further. There's also the question of supply chain resilience, especially given global tensions. Israel's move to support domestic VC and defense tech funds reflects awareness of this. Looking ahead, what might the next few years bring? Greater integration of AI with autonomy. Unmanned systems will likely move towards higher levels of autonomy, teaming capabilities, multi-agent coordination. This means drones and robots working in swarms, sharing data, acting semi-independently but under oversight. More directed energy weapons and new interception modes. Lasers, electromagnetic railguns, advanced missile interceptors with AI-aided targeting, all may become more common as technology matures. Expansion of space and persistent surveillance. Satellites, high-altitude platforms, persistent sensors will feed real-time geospatial intelligence into decision loops. Israel's space industry momentum supports this. Networked battlefield and multi-domain command. Defense will increasingly mean the integration of air, ground, sea, cyber and space domains. Real-time data sharing, AI-based fusion, faster decision loops will define capability. Ethical, policy, regulatory debates. As new systems proliferate, questions around AI control, autonomous weapons, export regimes, arms race dynamics will intensify. Finally, from a strategic perspective, what does this mean globally? For countries that partner with Israel, there is access to operationally proven tech rather than purely conceptual projects. For deterrence, the message is stronger: technologies that once seemed decades away are now fielded. For adversaries, the bar keeps moving. But for all players, it underscores that defense technology is no longer just about bigger missiles or more armor. It's about intelligence, autonomy, integration and cost-effectiveness. In conclusion, Israel in 2025 is at a pivotal moment of technological transformation in defense. The fusion of civilian innovation with military application, the rapid prototyping and deployment cycle, the integration of AI and autonomy, and the shift to cost-efficient, high-impact systems like directed energy weapons combine to set a new paradigm. For observers, analysts, and nations alike, what happens next will be instructive, and the pace of change suggests watching carefully. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive then please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future breakdowns of defense tech and innovation. Until next time, take care and stay curious.